to lead her opposition party. She returned to Pakistan after Musharraf granted her amnesty from the corruption charges. They had been negotiating a deal that would let Bhutto run for prime minister in free and fair elections, while Musharraf got re-elected as a civilian to the presidency he had initially seized in a military coup. But in early November, Musharraf imposed emergency rule and twice placed Bhutto under house arrest. He insisted he did so for her own safety. Just hours after Bhutto's last house arrest was lifted, I spoke with her in the home in Lahore where she'd been detained. She told me that despite the threats against her life, she would continue to campaign openly.
I can still campaign, not as freely as in the past, but I don't intend to be intimidated by those who threaten to kill me. And I see that in every event where there is a threat to one's core interests, national interests, people send the young men and women to give their lives. America sends the young men and women to Afghanistan where they risk death. No one turns around and says, don't send our boys because somebody may kill you. So when there is a cause that is larger than oneself, one has to take the risk.
Let me ask you about a couple of things President Musharraf has said. One, he has said that putting you under house arrest and in detention a couple of times was absolutely necessary for your own security. That there have been threats against you, that you've chosen risky spots and venues for rallies and marches. What do you say to that?
I say that if he's worried about threats against me, instead of putting me behind bars, he should get in Scotland Yard or FBI to investigate the militant terrorist attack that took place on my convoy. If he gets independent investigators, then I'm sure the very militants and the backers will be frightened because they will know that they can be discovered. I suspect that elements within the administration are sympathetic to the militants and they want to eliminate my leadership to prevent democracy from returning to Pakistan and to prevent any political party having a leader with a mass support or nationally that will enable us to build a popular base to confront the terrorists. So what I'd like to tell him is that why do you hesitate to let me file a police report against the murderers? Why do you hesitate to call in Scotland Yard? Call them in. Let the militants know that they can't escape.
So are you accusing